Beware of immigration fraud and incompetence that could destroy your asylum case. Today, I'm exposing the warning signs of scammers posing as immigration experts, including both attorneys and people posing as attorneys. If you're seeking asylum, this information could save you thousands of dollars and protect your future in America. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to protect yourself, and we're starting right now. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, well, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And listen, I'd especially like to hear from you. If you've been waiting for an asylum interview with USCIS for multiple years, let me know how long you've been waiting. When I was an asylum officer with the government, I witnessed firsthand how scammers and unethical service providers devastated people's asylum cases. I saw poorly done applications that did the applicant no favors and in fact worked against them. I saw declaration after declaration that clearly wasn't written by the applicant. I saw cases filled with made-up stories that the applicant didn't even know were in their paperwork. And what happened next? Well, these cases were flagged as fraudulent and the applicants were denied, even when they might have had legitimate claims. Look, the stakes couldn't be higher. If you trust the wrong person with your asylum case, you risk losing thousands of dollars, being denied asylum, facing deportation proceedings, and being banned from all immigration benefits going forward because of fraud. Now, today I'm sharing 7 critical warning signs that the person offering to help with your asylum case is actually a scammer, or at least someone from whom you should stay far, far away in building and pursuing your asylum case. This is because chances are they will end up hurting you much more than they will help you. Okay, warning sign number 1. They call themselves a document preparer, or maybe a form filler, or an immigration services provider, or a notario publico. Listen, if the person isn't a lawyer, they shouldn't be touching your asylum case. If they're going by any other title, they clearly aren't licensed to provide legal guidance and are actually probably breaking the law by performing what is called the unauthorized practice of law. Now look, this stuff is too complicated and the stakes are too high to be left to just anyone. That's why there are strict licensing and other rules around who can advise people on legal matters. The notario publico deserves special attention. You see, in many Latin American countries, a notario publico is similar to a lawyer, but in the US, well, a notary public is simply someone authorized to witness signatures. They can't practice law or prepare legal documents. And these so-called immigration service providers, well, they often prey on people who don't speak English as a first language, charging them thousands of dollars for services that they're not qualified to provide. And look, I can't stress enough how dangerous these document preparers and form fillers can be to your case. As a former asylum officer, well, I saw countless applications ruined by incompetence from these people. And I promise you, it's almost certainly going to cause problems at your interview if you have someone help you who is not a lawyer. You see, the asylum officers always ask about this. You need to tell the truth at your asylum interview when you're asked who helped you prepare your application and supporting materials, including any declaration that's submitted. And look, when you tell them that it was someone who is not a lawyer, well, the officer is going to look at this skeptically. They're going to look skeptically at your entire case. Don't disadvantage yourself like this. Also, many of these providers are known to the asylum offices and these cases get flagged as untrustworthy cases. Okay, warning sign number 2, they guarantee results. No one can guarantee that you'll win asylum, not even the best immigration attorney in the world. The asylum process depends on many factors, including the specific facts of your case, the evidence available, and even which asylum officer or immigration judge is assigned to your case. If someone promises that you'll definitely get asylum or claims they have some kind of special connections at USCIS that can guarantee approval, well, they're lying to you. You should run in the other direction if someone is promising you results, okay? All right, warning sign number 3. They claim to be government officials when they're not. Now, this is extremely common right now. Scammers call immigrants claiming to be from USCIS, ICE, or even the Border Patrol, and they might say there's a problem with your case or that you're about to be deported unless you pay immediately. Remember, real government officials will never call you demanding payment over the phone. They don't accept gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Official government communications about your case will come by mail on official letterhead, or they'll be uploaded to your MyUSCIS account. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for asylum success, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. Okay, let's continue with our list. Warning sign number 4, they don't have a legitimate online presence. Look, any reputable immigration attorney will have a professional website with their name, photo, and information about them. It'll contain an office address that you can verify. They'll have multiple positive Google reviews from real clients. They'll also be registered with a state bar association. If the person helping you has none of these things, well, that's a major red flag. Do a Google search for their name and verify their credentials before handing over any money. We've been seeing people who aren't really attorneys hold themselves out as attorneys. Now, sometimes they do it by insinuation, but look, sometimes they straight up lie and explicitly say that they are an attorney when they really aren't. You've got to be diligent in sniffing this out. Warning sign number 5, they charge unusually low fees. I mean, look, everyone loves a bargain, right? But in immigration law, unusually low fees often mean poor quality work. Preparing a strong asylum case requires extensive time and expertise. If someone's charging significantly less than legitimate attorneys in your area, ask yourself why. During my time with the government, I reviewed many asylum applications, and I could often immediately spot the ones prepared by cut-rate providers or attorneys. They were generic, sloppy, and sometimes contained obvious fabrications that the applicant didn't even know about. Look, the old adage that you get what you pay for applies here. If the price seems too good to be true, it probably is. All right, warning sign number 6, they ask you to sign blank forms. This is extremely dangerous. Never sign a blank immigration form or a document that you don't understand, and don't agree to something being submitted on your behalf without first reviewing it. Unethical providers may provide false information if you're not careful, making you legally responsible for fraud. I've seen cases where applicants discovered during their asylum interview that their application contained completely fabricated stories. They never knew about it because they didn't demand to review the final proposed filing before it was submitted. But by the time of their interview, it was too late. They were viewed as having knowingly submitted false information. All right, finally, warning sign number 7. They refuse to provide copies of what they submit. You have an absolute right to copies of everything submitted to the government on your behalf. If your attorney refuses to give you copies of your completed forms and supporting documents, well, they're hiding something. Remember, it's your asylum case. You should know exactly what's being submitted and what's being said about your situation. If they tell you that this is just how they operate, or you discover this after having already hired them, well, you need to find a different option immediately. Remember, if you're already working with someone and you notice any of these warning signs, well, it's not too late to change course. An ethical immigration attorney can often help correct problems with your case, but you must act quickly. Your asylum case is too important to entrust to someone who isn't qualified or ethical. The decisions you make now will impact your entire future in the United States. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then please call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us today to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you to secure your future in America through Asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning. It's an honor to serve you in your asylum journey.